Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to G Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And yeah, I'm getting my barbecue set up here. It's just about noontime, a little afternoon. And you say, well, why are you setting up at afternoon? It's not lunch. It's not going to be lunch, right? No, it's not. It's going to be supper. And when I do my supper, today, I had bought a really nice lean rack of spare ribs, or baby back ribs actually, and they were nice and lean and just looked so delicious, and they were only $9. And I said, well, that'll give me a few meals anyway, so I bought them, and it's time for them to be barbecued. So in prep, I use heavy duty foil, the 18-inch wide stuff, and put 2 layers of it down on the bottom. Set the ribs in there and season them with my spice rub, my homemade spice rub. Those of you who would like to know what's in my spice rub, leave me a comment below. Maybe I'll give you the recipe. Anyway, I put the spice rub on both sides, nice and heavy, and then 1 single layer of foil for the top, and then roll the sides and the ends. Fold them a couple of times. Don't just fold them once. Fold them a couple of times. So that's going to pressure cook these things inside of here. They're sealed in there. The only thing in there is their natural juices and the spices, and the stuff can't go anywhere, so they're not going to dry out. So this is the way it's going to cook for a couple, 3 hours or so. And then I open it up, take it out of the foil altogether, and place it right next to the heat. First one side, then the other side, after I've coated it with my barbecue sauce so that it's caramelized by the heat. And after that, it's just a matter of, minutes before it's ready to eat, because the fire is already hot. Next, the fire. How do I do the fire? Well, you see the charcoal and a half moon here around my kettle barbecue. I love these kettle barbecues. They're great for this. This is time cooking. And time cooking around halfway around here will probably be 4.5 to 5 hours of 3 briquettes thickness. That's 1, 2 on the bottom, and then 1 on the top of them all. Now, I've had a few extra pieces of briquettes still left in the barbecue that didn't burn from last barbecue, so I added those to it, so it looks a little bit thicker in the middle, but that's okay, because that's where I want the main heat of the cooking to go. So how does this work? Well, I'm going to light one end right down here, and then I'm just going to let it start to gray up a little bit, just to start to get ash on it. Then I'll put the rack on top and put the ribs on the rack offset to this side of the barbecue. I don't want it directly over the heat. I want the heat to be off to one side, and it's going to come up in the kettle and you know what I mean. It's going to circulate around the ribs, and that gives it that hot air effect, and cooks them slowly rather than burning them on the outside and raw on the inside, right? All right, so we got a little bit of a breeze kicking up here, and I got to do these today because it looks like there's a chance of rain tomorrow. Thursday, again, another chance. Friday, the best chance. I think that was up like 68, 70%. And then 80% on Saturday, but it's going to be a taper off rain, so it's not going to be the heavy stuff. Oh, we'll see what happens. Okay, so I got my charcoal lighter fluid, and I'm just going to soak the first couple of briquettes in the row here. I don't want them all to flame up all at once. I just want to get some heat started in the beginning here. And then I'm going to give that a light. All right. That's it. Now I can place my rack on so I don't have to lean over it when it's too hot. And that's it. I'm just going to let it sit and cook like that. I may have to move it a little bit. Yeah, that's a metal shelf. It ain't going anywhere. But I better move this stuff. So anyway, that's that. Hey, you get a special treat. A trip into the battery room. Look at this. We're at 14 volts here at noon. 14.1, 14.2 at noontime. It's noontime. Noontime at the Oasis. I just cleaned those, but I didn't get the grease on them in time, so I'm going to have to clean them again and grease them. How do you like that? Of course, they've all been serviced and filled, so they're full of their water. I'm not getting very much production on the wind turbine today. 6.5 watts coming in. It's just a light breeze out here. All right, so I'm not going to bore you staring here watching the fire go, but that's all there is to this timing thing. Now, when I set the cover on, I will set it with the vents fully open. The heat's going to be all back there on the back side, and I want it to come up around the ribs and then exit out here in the front. And this will get up in the 400 range, somewhere in that area, and hold that for the whole period of cooking. Now, I'll be back out here somewhere around 3:30, I would say, to open up the foil and put my barbecue sauce on, and then put them over the charcoals for the finished cooking. And then I'll move them indoors and put one sheet of foil over the top of them just to keep them warm. And then when I'm ready for my supper, it's ready to go. And I think I'll make up some potato salad too while I'm at it, and I'll have some potato salad with it. So stay tuned, and I'll show you the finished product later on today. This is G Bear, thanking you for joining me and signing off.